Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Dare to Care. My name is Masha, and I'm a veterinarian, but also a nurse for humans, and I'm doing this podcast now for a couple of times. I'm always also on the lookout for new people who are passionate about animal welfare, and luckily I found another one. So a few weeks ago, I heard about a student club from Nigeria that is involved in animal welfare, and especially one of their activities I found very particularly interesting. But I think we will get into that later. But first of all, welcome, Marvelous, and nice to have you here.
Yes, thank you. Great having me here. My name is Oluwajoba Marvelous Pelumi. You can call me Marvelous. A finalist in Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, here in Nigeria. And presently, I happen to be the president of Animal Welfare Student Club at Federal University of Agriculture. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you already mentioned that, where you're coming from and that you're still a student. So you're a student yourself. Yeah, I was not surprised, but sitting here in Germany, we are in this European bubble of animal welfare, and I'm really looking forward to exchange with you from a sub-Saharan country in Africa. What maybe is particular for your country, but start from the beginning. So can you tell us a little bit about that student club that you're involved in, and what its mission maybe also?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Actually, this club is not, let me just say that it's the first of its kind here on campus. And the reason why we're having this club on campus is because of our compassion for animals. We noticed one thing about West African countries, precisely let me talk about Nigeria. So most of the times, people just want to feed on animals, they just kill them, they just, brutally kill them. They can do all sort of bad things to them. So, and we feel that people are not having any compassion as anything that is not human, any non-human animals, the way people treat them. And this is now graduating to how people are handling human beings as well, which is quite very bad. So we are doing our own quota, playing our own roles in changing people's mentality as regarding, animals, not only pets. And one thing has to be known. In our ecosystem, everything has to work together. If you are trying to be conscious of the grains, you just have to work also with animals that live there, the organisms and everything. You trying to alter one will definitely affect the ecosystem. So we're trying to raise awareness. And how do we do that? We start with students. We are graduating and going out there. We become men and women out there. So whatever we are equipped with now, we definitely go with us. And that's what we are doing. It's very interesting seeing young people like us, students, going into this. It's very, very interesting. And we have so many people from different departments, from Department of Agricultural Extension. I am from Department of Agricultural Extension. We have people from veterinary medicine. We have people from animal science, animal health, animal nutrition. People coming together to show their compassion, their love for animals and how we can fight for them. We know they can talk, although they talk in some languages we have to read and understand if we are quite close to them. So we are just trying our very best to help them, and so far it has been encouraging.
Yeah, it's really amazing actually to hear that you have this interdisciplinary approach and that it's actually possible for you to do that, to integrate that into your work, because I sometimes have the impression that this really is a benefit of associations or organizations if they have different expertise and perspective also, and bringing them on the table. So it's really great to hear that you did that and that you can manage that.
Yes, thank you.
Maybe a bit personal, because I was wondering if there was a turning point for people to become really engaged in animal welfare and to start advocating for that. Was there a moment for you or something that was really eye-opening? Maybe you can share your own personal story.
Definitely you want me to tell a story? Well, that was good. I can remember when I was quite young, that should be far back as that should be 2007. Yes, I can remember vividly. So I happen to be in the family whereby my mom, my dad, they love livestock a lot. So they do rear animals like goat, chicken. What is that? Oh yes, we have dog as pet as well. So that made me to, develop this interest in having them around because of how, especially how dog, we see it beside you, seeing you eating, want to drag your spoon, and all this kind of things. So it was very, very interesting. And actually, we blacks, let me just put it that way, or Africans generally, that was very, very rare, seeing you sitting with dog, eating, giving them food, giving them access to your mattress, doing all this kind of thing. They would think it's crazy. But I did not mind, actually. So if change is going to come up, it's going to start with one person. And I was very, very happy to start that in my own society. So we started this. And but what actually made me to give all my energy, all my zeal into this animal welfarism started one day when our goats were cruelly killed by people around. Because here, when they notice that you are prospering in something, sometimes some people will not feel so happy about it. They will just be trying to fight you directly or indirectly. So we just noticed that they were roaming our building, and all of a sudden we just saw them laying down. I think they were poisoned. So they were laying down right at the back. My mom just went there and told us that our goats are dead. And my siblings, they were literally crying. I also, as a man of the house, I just have to do like a man. So I did not cry, but inside of me, I was very, very unhappy. And ever since then, I've had it at the back of my mind that there is this connection between we human beings and animals. For my siblings to be crying, weeping like this, and I also at the brink of crying, there is definitely this intimacy. When you have them around with you, you have this deep feeling, just like human being as well. So ever since then, I said, irregardless of any course I study here, actually, I'm going to put all my zeal into animal welfarism. And God so good, I got admission to Federal University of Agriculture. Out of my curiosity, to know more about animal welfare, I met one of the staffs in charge. I think we met on LinkedIn, and then I got to talk to her, and she said, "Oh, good, there is something like that on campus. If I'm quite interested, I should just chat her up." From there, let me just say that was the turning point.
Yeah.
That was the turning point. Yes, thank you.
That's cool. Yeah, so there I have another question about like your university, because I did some internships abroad, for example, at like other veterinarian faculties or like universities, and I had to learn that regarding the curricula and like what students learn at university, animal welfare is not always included. So my question here for you, did you learn something during your study, like during lecture, or is it something that you had to like look out for outside of lecture?
Yes, it's two ways. Actually, I learned something about it. That was in 200 level. There was this course we did, and it has to do with animal physiology. So there was this aspect of it that was totally on animal behavior, welfarism. So it was very interesting. Although I had already joined this group then, but I got exposed to more of animal welfarism then, and then that was one. And then the another part of it is that I happen to be, presently the president. So I am exposed to so many webinars, international webinars. Dr. Yashi, one of the key staffs, around this animal welfarism. So there are a lot of webinars whereby I have to join from scientists out there, researchers out there, whereby, every time they equip us with how better to handle about animals and how to do the welfarism. How to do the advocacy and all the likes. So let me just say that I am exposed to all this through the coursework, through the lectures, through the club also.
Maybe we can dive a bit deeper into your students' clubs, like activities. What do you actually do? Like, how do you do awareness? How do you raise it? So maybe you can give us some examples.
I became the president of this association a year ago. So I will talk about the past administration as well. The past administration, actually, there is this, FUNAAB, which is Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta, we have a zoo, you understand, where all these animals are as well. They have in so many times gone there. I went there when I was in undergrad level. I saw some snakes, some reptiles that are very, very malnourished. Like the treatment there was quite nothing good to write home about. So they have gone there so many times to, let me just say that, to teach them how to better handle them, because they feed them, they will tell us they feed them, they do this, but we noticed that the treatment was quite harsh, not good enough. So they went there to, extend what awareness is all about, because some of them still did not know what animal welfarism and all this kind of thing was all about. So they went there to teach them. They went there to see these animals. They went there to see how they are, taking care of them. Some of them are getting to extinct because with the way they handle them, some of them just died. So they went there to teach them, do all this kind of thing. That was one on its own. They also did something like village outreach, whereby they went to nearby village. There is one village called Alabata close to the school. Basically, they were into farming. Yes, they were into agriculture. So they went there to teach them so many things about this. I don't want to use the word illiterate, but they are not exposed to, they don't have this chance of education. So they went there to teach them that not every time you see animal, you kill animal, you eat animals. There are better ways you can live with them. So they were like, what? Better ways? Animals, food, this, that. So we had to teach them all these kind of things. And it yielded positive results. In the ways they handle, they saw alternative. They eat on they feed on their veggies, all this kind of thing. More, they see it more protein yourself. That limit how they were killing animals. They did so many webinars. Let me put it that way. They did so many webinars, to equip people, because they happen to be, this student club happened to be a subset of Animal Welfare Group Nigeria. I mean, one of the members of Animal Welfare Group Nigeria. So they collaboratively did some, webinars to people. They also initiated what is called animal stories and the likes, whereby they invite people to talk about their experience, even in their, wherever they have been to, how maybe they reared the animal or what they experienced, just like the stories you asked me now. So they document it, try to put it on the platform. People read it. That is, though that are not opportune to come to the physical welfarism of a thing, they read it, they learn more on how to, how to replicate. Let me just put it that, how to replicate what you use, how it helps you, how they can also replicate it in their various places. So they did something like that. So fast forward to my present time now. So it's been amazing. And for me, actually, I've been busy throughout this week because I've been working on hearing animal welfarism on school radio. We have a radio for Federal University of Agriculture, Abeokuta. And my department, as an extensionist, we deal with communication a lot. So having a partnership with them, I went to see some of my lecturers working on that. So it's been a kind of busy, but it's part of my plans. And that one will be in local dialects. Yes, local dialects.
Oh.
So yes, local dialects. I don't want to do that in English because we want it to go as far as, majority of people that will hear it, they will prefer hearing it in Yoruba. Yoruba is the local dialect. So they will prefer hearing it, and then they will have deep understanding of what we're trying to tell them. That can yield better results. That is one. Also, presently, I'm working on, there is something like Catch Them Young program. Catch Them Young program is kind of program I want to initiate, whereby we go to some secondary schools, primary schools near us, catch those youths, those children, catch them young, tell them what animal welfarism is all about. As they grow, they grow in this knowledge. And by the time they get to university or by the time they graduate, this thing will not be new to them. To change the way and approach they live with animals and stuff like that. We notice some adults, they are quite stiff to the extent that you cannot bend them again. So we're trying to work with more of youth, so they can make the change we want, because 70% of Nigeria's population is actually youth. So we're trying to catch them young on that. That's also one of the plans which I am working on with, and also working with the staffs as well. We want to have a massive awareness program. Thank you. We want to have a massive awareness program on campus whereby we go out with banners, go out with so many things just to let students know more about this, and also not limited to students go out of the school, like it will be physical, you understand? Going from, probably if you can do that to some extent, from one house to another, tell them what animal welfarism is all about. And then what I've just done with one course not quite long ago, it was all about aquaculture actually. So from USOI. So I got equipped on how welfarism compared to, welfarism taken into aquaculture, the outcome of it. So I learned a lot about if there is proper welfare in aquaculture system as well. Okay, if it's not proper enough, let's say you harvest your fish now and then you are transporting them on your way before you get to the exact place to sell it, you notice decline in weight, you notice what does again, even in taste. If you are very, very observant, you notice when you process it, taste would have reduced. So all this kind of thing, we tell the farmers that are also into aquaculture, and people, aquaculture is also part of animal welfarism and stuff like that. So I'm trying to garner so much experience in that aspect as well and put it in animal welfare. So that's the project I'm working on.
It's crazy actually, because it's quite a lot. Also different target groups, like different age groups, different, like with different also knowledge background. So I was wondering, like, how many people do you have next to you, like on your side? Like, how big is the club?
Yes, nothing less than 50, but I still have 60 of them that are shown interest now that are supposed to have added to the group, but I'm very, very busy this weekend. So by next week, it should be above 100, like up to 120. But the reason why it would have been up to like 200, but the reason why is that it has not been like that is that I always subject them, I always make them pass through some kind of test before I allow them to join the group. There is this adage in Yoruba land here that if you have just one teeth, if it's white and strong, it's quite okay, more than having 32 of them that are not. So you understand. So that's what I've been doing so far. If you are not too serious about it, I will definitely not allow you to join. So yes.
But it's cool that you have so many people who also support the whole project and the club. Yeah, great. I was actually wondering, when you do that, like awareness campaigns, like with students, with really young children, but also with adults, people from the city, probably also people like from more rural areas, are there like common misconceptions about animal welfare that you have to face like more often than others maybe?
All right. Yes, as regarding misconception, let me start here. Nigerians are known to be religious. Let me just put it that way. So most of the time, maybe there are some teachings that back up not keeping animals or not, because most of them do say that you're trying to take care of animals. Are you now equaling them to human beings? All these kind of mentalities. So we have been having some misconceptions. For instance, the Muslims, they have nothing to do with pigs. When you have in your group those that are Muslims, when it comes to welfarism, when you are mentioning pigs or when you are trying to talk about pigs, the kind of reactions they're going to show. So we've been trying to change that mentality, and thank God so far the webinars have been eye opener, you understand. So majority of them have been seeing how they can, even though regardless of their religion, whatever, they can still, do well with that. Let me think about some misconceptions we've been having about animal welfarism. Oh, yeah, there is this one very, very funny. Yes, it's about cats, actually, here in Nigeria, especially southwest Nigeria. I come from southwest Nigeria. I can talk about that. Cats. If you are keeping cats as a pet, they will tell you you have a witch inside your house. I think it's because I don't want to talk about some that get into all this juju of a thing, or maybe witchcraft or whatever. So I think some of them use cats. They use cat a lot, cat and birds like I think eagle, hole and likes. I learned, none of them are shown to me before, but I learned that they use all these animals, to do whatever they want to do. So when people now see you having all these pets around or having these animals in your compound, it can raise some, kind of feelings that, what do you have to do with cats? What do you have to do with birds? All this kind of thing. Are you into witchcraft or whatever? That's one kind of misconception. But I learned a lot. Thank God for the exposures. So I learned a lot that all these things are beautiful creatures. That if you have them around, especially my dogs, they are very, very lovely to be with. We're now doing it as though they are in primary school. We tell them line by line how they can live with these animals. They have nothing to do with wizards, witches, or whatever you call it. They are very, very good to be with. So a lot of them are, a lot of people are changing their mindset, changing their mentality. They are now living with cats. And some of them don't know all these animals. Living with them are therapeutic in the sense that, when you have them around, it happens to me a lot of time whereby I feel bad, if because of what happened to me, I feel so bad. But my dog will just come, swinging its tail like this. And then when I do my hands like this, it will jump. Bingo will jump up and then sit on my hand like this. I will take it to my chest, and then it will be looking at me like this. So all these things easily make my day almost all the time. So we are preaching this to them as well. So.
So when I was back in the days when I was still a student, I sometimes, when having conversations with well, the real adults, I sometimes had the feeling as a student, it's not always very easy to talk to them, and to make them convinced that also you as a student have, well, first of all, an opinion and also your expertise. How is it for you? Do you have maybe allies at uni, or is it also do you face maybe challenges as a student club? And I'm talking to older people. Is that even an issue?
The problem has always been like that. Animal welfarism actually, preaching animal welfarism actually is going to come with that, regardless of the age group you're talking to. Because it's something that has not been in existence here for quite a long time ago, and you're just trying to teach them that this thing exists and stuff like that, it's going to be, you should be ready for the fight. So actually, some of them, I can say some of them are erudites, especially those that have learned so much. If you want to talk to them, they will first of all size up your brain in the sense that you are young. How can you be telling me this and that? But we've been doing our best in raising the awareness. Some of them get it immediately and they act on it immediately. Some of them took them some time, and some that seems as though they were not in support of it. Over time, they try to sit down, put it on table, try to check them. Oh, there is sense in what these guys are talking about, and they eventually, eat. So one thing I just learned about this is that whatever you are doing, that is good, keep on doing it. Over time, it will give you the result you aim. So that's what we have been doing so far. Some of them we be like, they have so many questions, and I like them asking questions. It's like they want to know more about it. How will you say that? It should be, what do you mean? What would be my gain? Normal Nigerians, we ask you whenever you ask this thing, they will say, what will be my gain? How much am I going to earn from? Oh wow, everything is not about money, bro. Everything is not about money. So we just have to change our mentality as regarding money. That's how we find ourselves in this present situation of climate changes and the likes, because everything we are all about is about money. So we try to tell them that, firstly, be compassionate with these animals. It is going to help you as well. There was this popular term I learned from when I was having my permaculture training some time ago, and they do say that whatever you give into the society, whatever you give into the ecosystem, you throw it back to you. I don't know how it was structured actually, but it's something like that. So whatever you do, one day you are going to have either consequences or good result of that. So let's just try to, rear them. I am not saying that animals, one cannot eat animals or whatever. That's not where I'm going. But there are ways you can rear animals, and then you should see alternatives, in veggies and the likes. Not that every time kill them. Every time. If you come to Africa, you see people tying their fowls, tying their chicken to a moving motorcycle. It's as cruel as that. So they will tie the chicken to the back of that motorcycle, and that is bad. Before they get to house, the fowl would have died sometimes. Just imagine. They will have to slaughter it, do those kind of things. So all these things since my childhood, I have been saying, God, give me the power, to just maybe be in the power, be in the government, to enact some laws against all this kind of acts. So
some big dreams, big visions. That's always good to have.
yes, yes.
You have already told us a little bit about the future steps, or what are you gonna do next? But do you have already a strategic plan for the next year? Are there some events maybe that you can tell us about?
Yes, fine. I can share it. Like I said before, I supposed to have had the program on the air this week, but due to some changes, I couldn't. But this coming week, I'm going to start with that, whereby I have to go to the studio. They're gonna host me for up to 30 minutes, 1 hour, and stuff like that. So that will be for this week. And coming weeks, we're going to have the massive welfarism program I talked about. So the awareness program whereby we tour the school, and the school is very, very big, but we are going to try our best, tour the school, go out of the school, go and talk to people, what it's all about, how they can do that. And then before the end of this year, I've talked to the staffs in charge that I'll put it on me. I'll go to the schools there, maybe with two of my fellow animal advocates, go there, go and do the Catch Them Young program I talked about. Go there, go and teach them. And it will not be just once. Might be maybe once in every month. I'll be going there, to talk to them. And if possible, if our government sees something, if they can act on that, they can just put this into the curriculum. Yeah. And then that means my prayers got answered. So, and that is for this year actually. But I'm working on the coming year as well. All the projects we have to do every month. I'm trying to put out the structure, have a schedule for the coming year. But for this year, at least 4 activities, like I've said, will come up. Yeah. And I'm still open to some other activities. I'm presently in touch with, there's an Indian I'm presently in touch with, who showed interest in what we are doing as well. And I think he's also a vet, and is into welfarism on a large scale, actually supported by the government then in India. He was talking about partnership, how we can work together and do something big. So, and stuff like this, we really take time, and I have to carefully review all the agreements and stuff. So we've been working on that. If works so quick and fast, we can have that before the end of this year as well. Something big can come up.
Oh, wow. That sounds cool. Finger crossed for that. Have you heard of other students' club, animal welfare students' club in Nigeria, or are you the first and only? And if you're the first and only, are there any ideas or maybe plans to spread the club and to also maybe implement new ones at other universities?
Actually, I don't know of any animal welfare group here in Nigeria other than the one I am in now. So, or maybe they are not active. Let me just put it that way. But that is not the case. We can work on expanding. But truthfully, I have not considered that now because of what I am presently doing. At least to work on what I am doing presently, then I can discuss this with the staffs. With the organizers on how this can be expanded. We have an association of animal welfare, like I said before. In Nigeria, the association is there very, very active. And I can say boldly in sub-Saharan, probably that's the best. I don't know if something like that happens in some West African countries. Like I said before, our mentality here is about eat them, eat them, eat them. So, and I don't know, maybe they have, but change, like I said before, start with one person. So
Yeah.
I'll definitely put that into plans. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Maybe for our listeners who want to support also animal welfare, some are already involved, but some are probably not. What would you tell them where they can start? Like, what kind of small actions can they do in their daily lives? And yeah, maybe also for students. Do you have any advice for them?
I guess if I'm not wrong, I guess the listeners, some are from Europe, some are from Africa, whereby there are different experiences. But regardless, I'm going to talk based on each areas we come from. I think it starts with, just like we're saying, starts with our own quota. We have to play our own quota. Start with that pet you are rearing, that animals you are having. How do you handle them? How do you handle them? If you have not been handling them well, look at yourself, do proper handling. Handle them in the sense that handle them well when you are feeding, handle them well in kinds of their health, handle them well in terms of so many things. The environment, don't let them be in harsh environment. You know that the environment is quite cold. You put on some sweaters and the lights, you get in, and then you leave them outside. You don't house them. You don't do all these kind of things. That is not good enough. So try to do that. That is the first contributions you can have to animal welfarism. So, and after then, if your government is quite near to you, I mean, the proximity quite close to you, you can walk up to them. If there is any assistance for those keeping animals, maybe rearing or just having them, if there is any assistance, try to talk to them and see how they can, help you. If you know that you are not financially buoyant to handle that yourself, do that as well. And also seek animal welfarism. I know Europe very well. Germany, I know of US, I know I know some other countries like that they have some standard animal welfare groups that you can probably join, whereby you listen to them, learn more about animal welfarism, like every time. That will help you, in handling your animal better, and then you have a society of like-minded around you. But for Africans, I will just say that firstly as well, try to rear your animal in good state, try to keep them in good state. Also, try to join groups, like I've said. Government might be a bit far from us to reach, that's just the truth. But just try your best, to all what we are doing. We are not being supported by government, we're just trying our own very best to help these creatures. So don't be how much will I get? It should be how much can I help? So just do that. And over time, you will see you are deriving so many things from them, like in terms of your health. They are quite good to be with more than humans sometimes, sorry. And for instance, Animal Welfare Student Club, FUNAAB, we are on LinkedIn. They can just try to join, follow the group, and then see so many things about animal researches on animal welfarism. I mean, researches on animal, a whole lot about that, where they can learn. You can follow some webinars, without paying a dime. So they can just follow us on LinkedIn for those outside the shores of Africa.
Well, that's good actually that you already mentioned the LinkedIn account because that was my last question to ask you how people can connect with the FUNAAB Animal Welfare Club. But yeah, that you already answered. So thank you for that. Actually, I think we've come to an end. So is there anything that I haven't asked you but you would still tell us and let us know? So then feel free to have your last words here on the podcast.
Well, it will be, I will have to thank you so much for this platform, to discuss what I love discussing. I'm so happy to be on your podcast. And yes, I think I can just ask, I don't know if this thing is a one time off of a thing. if it's not one time off, maybe we can be having this kind of discussion sometimes. Like, how is it over there? How is animal welfarism over there right now? What have you guys just did? Stuff like that. So, but if it's one time off, everything is actually okay as well. But that's just what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, I think it would be great to like get some updates after some time to also see the progress and the development of your work. I think that would be an amazing thing. That's, I think, a really great idea. Let's do that. I will definitely put the link of your account of LinkedIn into the description so people can reach out to you. And I think with that, we're done. So again, thank you very, very much. And then hopefully see you soon.
Yes, thank you so much. Have a great day. It's a pleasure meeting you.
And it's over again. Since we forgot to mention it during our conversation, I would like to point out that the Animal Welfare Student Club at FUNAAB is sponsored and supported by the university, which really plays a vital role in empowering students to make meaningful impact. Like always, I hope you have learned something new or have been inspired by listening to Marvelous Insights. If so, please share it with someone you know, and by that let's make the world together a little wiser. Take the time to give us 5 stars and a good review. If you would like to know more about today's topic, like always, you'll find a bunch of links in the description. And if you have any questions, want to know more about the podcast, or have any other comments, just write an email at podcast.daretocare@gmail.com or DM me on Instagram at daretocare_podcast. Thanks for listening and see you next time.